Welcome. When starting a new save, the first thing you do is the setup, right? I'm not kidding, it's the foundation of your entire Football Manager experience. And the decisions you make during the setup can shape everything that follows. In this video, I'll show you different ways to approach the setup, including some hints and insights that even experienced players often forget or overlook. So whether you're a veteran or just starting out, you don't want to miss it. Let's dive in. When starting a new career modes, you're basically given three options: the original, real world, and your world. I'm not going to read this, I will show you the differences, and let's use Chelsea as the example here. Starting with real world. Here we are, July 3rd, 2023. If you click on squad for Chelsea, you will notice that a lot of players already have some transfers arranged. If you click here on transfers, then we have a list of players who are joining Chelsea. For example, Moises Caicedo will be joining on August 14th. And players who are also leaving, in this case here, Mason Mount, who is leaving the club on July 5th in 2 days. So basically, the squad will start as it was on the date the game started, in this case July 3rd, and the transfers will happen when they happen in real life, okay? Next, let's talk about original. July 3rd, 2023, and you will notice that all transfers already happened on July 3rd. So Moises Caicedo, I assume, is here. Here he is. He's already part of the squad as soon as the new game starts. If you click on transfers and you go to future transfers, we only have one player, Kendry Paes, who cannot join Chelsea right now because he's only 16 years old. He will join the club once he turns 18 years old. So that's the main difference. Under original, all the transfers have already happened the day the new save starts. Remember that under real world, the transfers will actually happen the day they actually happen in real life. And here we are again, July 3rd, 2023. In real world, is a little bit different. If you click on transfers, there are no future transfers arranged. And if you click on squad, no transfers actually happen. Moises Caicedo, for instance, is not here. So in your world, no transfers actually happen or will ever happen. The squad that existed on July 3rd, 2023 is the squad that you're gonna have to work with going forwards. Got it? So which one is better? I don't think there is a better option. It really depends on what you want. In the original, you won't have to deal with any incoming or outgoing transfers. You can work with the squad from day one, and that saves some work. With real world, you will have to deal with a lot of players coming in, players leaving, different dates, which can impact pre-season or just the overall management of the club. And your world, I think it's particularly interesting, especially when you think that the club made some really bad decisions during the transfer window and you can do better. Well, they signed a striker who sucks. Well, you're not playing with that striker, you're bringing someone better. Step number 2 is this page here. There are some very basic concepts, but also some advanced settings you need to be aware of. I will cover both. Let's start with the basics. Of course, if you click here on add or remove leagues, you can choose all the leagues that you want to be part of your Football Manager experience. What does that mean? Well, it means the level of realism or details that you want as part of your next game. Let me give an example and I will show you one by one. Starting with England and Argentina, I will be coaching Chelsea. You can see here playable, and I will show you here Argentina playable as well. Playable means that you can manage a club in that country at any point during the game. Can you change that during a save? Yes, you can, and I will show you how. But let me show the difference between playable, view below only, and view only. here we are, December 30, 2023. I loaded Argentina as playable, and I will show you what happens in the game when you select that option. Number 1, when you go to staff and job search, as I mentioned before, you can actually manage clubs in Argentina as well. So for example, News Old Boys is looking for a new coach. I could click here and I could declare interest in the job. I could view job advert and then apply for the job. Okay, so basically you can manage any club that you select as playable. Number 2, full squads. Let me give an example. You click on News Old Boys. You can see it's a full squad, lots of players, all the details. You can go to the reserve squads, you can go to the under 20 squad, all real players. Under playable, the league will basically load full squads for you. For comparison purposes, let me show you Palmeiras in Brazil. And here you can see the squad is very limited. Reserve squads, there are no real players. Under 20 squad, only 2 real players. So the squad is very limited when the league is not playable. Number 3, detailed results and statistics. Okay, so let's check Argentina. Here you can click on matches and results. Let's go back a couple of days here. Rosario Central and Godoy Cruz. You can actually click on the game, and here you have all the stats. Okay, you have the player statistics, analytical statistics. You have full details for every single match in the leagues that you loaded as playable. Okay, the game will simulate that league in full. And number 4, transfers. If we go here to Argentine Premier Division and you click on transfers, here you see that a lot of transfers already happened in the first year. I will show you with view only and unloaded leagues. The amount of transfers is basically lower. So quick summary for playable leagues. Number 1, you can manage the teams. Number 2, you can have access to full squads. Number 3, detailed results and statistics. And number 4, lots of transfers. Okay, now I loaded Argentina as view only. Let's take a look at Job Center, and you will notice that only English clubs are available for me to manage. All the Argentine clubs are no longer available because we're no longer use Argentina as a playable league. Number 2, let's find News Old Boys here. Let's go to squad. You can see now the squad is very limited. Only a couple of players available. The reserves are all fake players. Same with under 20 squad. Okay, so the difference here, you remember that with playable, you had a full squad for the New Old Boys. Number 3 is statistics and results. So if you click on Argentina Premier Division and we go to matches and results, notice that I can no longer click on the match. I cannot see the statistics, player statistics, and more details about the league. Football Manager will simulate all the results, but not at full length. You know, you're not gonna get the same depth that you get when you run the league as playable. And last but not least, transfers. We go here, transfers. Look, we only have maybe a dozen transfers compared to hundreds of transfers that happened during the save when we loaded Argentina as a playable league. So also the number of transfers here will be much more limited. To summarize, view-only leagues, you cannot manage any clubs, limited squads, just a number of players, basic results and statistics, and quiet transfer market. Great, so we talked about playable, we talked about view-only, but there is a third option called playable view-only below. What it means is that, for instance, here in Germany, the Bundesliga will run as playable, but the leagues below it, Bundesliga 2 and Bundesliga 3, will run as view only. Okay, that's what it means. Now lastly, let's check what happens when you do not load the league. I've loaded a new game without Argentina as view, or playable without Argentina at all. Let's see what happened. Of course, we cannot manage Argentina, but if we go to Argentina, let's look for the league here, competitions, Argentina Premier Division. Guess what? We cannot see a league table. We cannot see game results. We can only see past winners and runners up. So there are no details whatsoever about the league results, the games, the transfers. Nothing here exists. Okay, if we click on River, for instance, if you want to see some players, some of the players will be loaded because the game will load most players or some top players from top clubs no matter what. So you still have some players, but the leagues will not be simulated at all. You will not have statistics, you will not have game results or anything like that. So as I mentioned to you before, there is a way that you can add or remove leagues during the game. All you gotta do is click here on Football Manager, go to add remove leagues. For instance, I want to add Argentina. You come here, South America, Argentina, Premier Division, and now it says here that as of January 1st, 2024, Argentina will become a playable league. So it doesn't happen right away. The game will tell you when that will become available, but the same way that you can add leagues, you can also remove leagues. So you can customize your game experience during the save as well. Don't worry about it. Alright, so I shared most of the basic concepts, but now I want to share some advanced concepts, and that's how I set up most of my games. So the first thing that I do, I click here on countries, and I usually add as playable the countries that I either want to manage one day, or most importantly, the clubs that I know I'll be playing against at the continental level. For instance, with Chelsea, I hope I can make it to the Champions League, and if I do, I want to play against clubs that have their full squad, full potential, lots of transfers, lots of realism. So I will click, for instance, on Germany, France, Italy, Spain, some of the main countries in Europe that I know that will have clubs competing for the trophy. Once you do that, you have here the stars. Right now, estimated game speed, 4.5 stars, very fast. That changes depending on your computer, but honestly, don't worry too much about that. I want to say the stars are not super accurate, okay? The second step is here, the size of your database. You have small, medium, and large, and of course, the bigger the database, the more players the game will load. Now, I think the secret is here under advanced. Click on advanced, and here is the magic. In this case, Chelsea, for example, I would say that I'm very interested in signing wonder kids from Brazil and Argentina, for instance, right? I would go to nations, add Argentina and Brazil, and then here you can check what kind of players you want the game to load, regardless of whether the league is loaded or not. So for instance, we can click on all players based in Argentina and all players based in Brazil. You have different options, but let's go with all players based in both countries. You will notice that the number of players in the database now has gone up. You can customize this a little further. Let's say advanced, I wanna have more players from Europe because I'll be signing a bunch of wonder kids under 21, under 23. I go to continents, I click on Europe, and I can say, you know what? Let's load players from top clubs. And then you see the player count has gone up again. Another idea, you can come here and say, for Africa, I don't want to load players from the leagues, but I want to load players from the national teams. So current international players. Same with Asia, right? Current international players. So basically you can slice and dice the data here the way you want. So I do recommend you to change your database using the advanced option here. Of course, based on the type of game that you want to play. So you can customize this based on your needs. Also, you can come here on game setup and you can save it, okay? You can give it a name. I'll put here, I don't know, Chelsea, Europe. So I know that every time I run a game with an European club, I can just load the custom database that I created. So you can have different databases here, so you don't have to go through this every time you start a new game. Lastly, if you don't know how to start unemployed, or if you want to manage a club and a country, all you gotta do is just come to the top here. It says starting as head coach of Chelsea. You can click on change, click here on the arrow, and then you have international head coach only, so you can manage a country, club, and international coach, or unemployed. Not super clear, but that's where you'll find it, okay? Well, that's it for setting up new games. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this new channel, and I hope I see you next time. Thank you.